it there? Trying to get the page ready for me? It got turned, didn't it? We're on Proverbs 5, the 5th of the month, and that was yesterday, which we didn't do because we all ran out of time. We're going to make it up today, huh? Alright. Proverbs 5. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Lend your ear to my understanding, that you may preserve discretion, and your lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of an immoral woman drip honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. And the note on that, this immoral woman is a prostitute. Bad. Proverbs includes many warnings against illicit sex for several reasons. First, a prostitute's charm is used as an example of any temptation to do wrong or to leave the pursuit of wisdom. Is that for me? Here, you can have that back. Because I think it's for you. Anyway, second, sexual immorality of any kind was and still is extremely dangerous. It destroys family life. It erodes a person's ability to love. It degrades human beings and turns them into objects. It can lead to disease. It can result in unwanted children. Third, sexual immorality is against God's law. Alright? Now we're to verse 4. But in the end she is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lay hold of hell, lest you ponder her path of life. Her ways are unstable. You do not know them. Therefore, hear me now, my children, and do not depart from the words of my mouth. Remove your way far from her, and do not go near the door of her house. Any person should be on guard against those who use flattery and smooth speech, which is lips that drip honey. That would lead him... A person should be on guard against those who use flattery and smooth speech that would lead him or her into sin. The best advice is to take a detour and even avoid conversation with such people. Verse 9. Lest you give your honor to others and your years to the cruel one, lest aliens be filled with your wealth and your labors go to the house of a foreigner, and you mourn at last, when your flesh and your body are consumed, and say, how I have hated instruction, and my heart despised correction. I have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to those who instructed me. At the end of your life, it will be too late to ask for advice. When desire is fully activated, people don't want advice, they want satisfaction. The best time to learn the dangers and foolishness of going after forbidden sex or anything else that is harmful is long before the temptation comes. Resistance is easier if the decision has already been made. Don't wait to see what happens. Prepare for temptation by deciding now how you will act when you face it. Verse 14. I was on the verge of total ruin. In the midst of the assembly and congregation, drink water from your own cistern and running water from your own well. Drink water from your own cistern is a picture of faithfulness in marriage. It means to enjoy the spouse God has given you. In the wilderness, water is precious, and a well is a family's most important possession. In Old Testament times, it was considered a crime to steal water from someone else's well, just as it was a crime to have intercourse with another man's wife. In both cases, the offender is endangering the health and security of the family. Should your fountains be dispersed abroad, streams of water in the streets? Let them be only your own, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of your youth. As a loving deer and a graceful doe, let her breast satisfy you at all times, and always be enraptured with her love. For why should you, my son, be enraptured by an immoral woman, and be embraced in the arms of a seductress? God does not intend faithfulness in marriage to be boring, lifeless, pleasureless, and dull. Sex is a gift from God. Is a gift God gives Sex is a gift God gives to married people for their mutual enjoyment. Real happiness comes when we decide to find pleasure in the relationship God has given or will give us, and to commit ourselves to making it pleasurable for our spouse. The real danger is in doubting that God knows and cares for us. We then may resent His timing and carelessly pursue sexual pleasure without His blessing. Verse 21. For the ways of a man are before the eyes of the Lord, and He ponders all His paths. His own iniquities entrap the wicked man. That's what you just pointed at. And he is caught in the cords of his sin. In contrast to much of what we read, see, and hear today, this passage urges couples to look to each other for lifelong satisfaction and companionship. Many temptations entice husbands and wives to desert each other for excitement and pleasures to be found elsewhere when marriage becomes dull. But God designed marriage and sanctified it, and only within this covenant relationship can we find real love and fulfillment. Don't let God's best for you be wasted on the illusion of greener pastures somewhere else. Instead, rejoice with your spouse as you give yourselves to God and to each other. See, that brings a smile to your face, huh? His own iniquities entrap the wicked man, and he is caught in the cords of his sin. He shall die for lack of instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. That was Proverbs 5 for the 5th of the month, which was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday, but that's okay, we're going to do it today. Because it's for all of them, as well as for us. It's still true no matter if it's today or it's not today, right? Alright, well you gotta wave to the camera. Can you wave over there? See that camera right there? Here, let me go over there and you can wave to me. Wave to me. Wave bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.